Alright, so we came down to our home gravel bar to try and find a piece of petrified wood for a video. And there's a pretty sharp looking piece, if I do say so myself. Look at that. One of the really cool things about petrified wood that we find around here is that it is remarkably well preserved. When this material that became petrified wood, when these were trees, they were buried pretty quickly by volcanic ash from Mount Hood, from Crater Lake, from Mount Mazama, which is now pretty much Klamath County. But that whole area, it produced a lot of petrified wood because it buried it under tremendous amounts of volcanic ash before it burned up. So we can find a whole lot of pieces like this in this area. It's pretty cool. You know, I was just about to move away from this spot and found this guy. We talked about these before. It's poppy jasper. It's a little piece. Oh! And our kitty cat came down with us today. He has an identity crisis. He thinks he's a dog. He's adorable, but, you know, we like him, I guess. So, we got back, and I wanted to take a look at some of the petrified wood that we found today. You can see that the grain preservation on a lot of this stuff is really very good. We found this piece down there today as well. This one's kind of harder to tell until you get it wet. You get a few other of these wet so that you can kind of see grain detail. It's that one with that really super cool, well-preserved grain detail. This is one we found a few days back. They don't always make it to the cut, but sometimes I hang on to them in case I want to make a video like this about petrified wood. But most of the wood around here is going to be really well preserved. This is a piece that came off of the Pistol River, and you can see it's pretty red. Right. But you can just barely make out the curve. That would have been a pretty big tree. This is just an outer piece. It might have been something that broke off a long time ago. This one, I have to get wet again for you to see that. And that's pretty much like this guy here. Except this has a really big piece of amber through it. And it is amber. It's not chalcedony and it's not carnelian. It goes all the way through, and we checked it, and the hardness kind of comes up right in the area for amber. This is a really well preserved piece. You can kind of see the detail on this, and this will really help you if you find something that you think is petrified wood. You don't always get a full segment. It's not always going to be this obvious where you have, you can definitely see growth rings in it. You get really close in on that. Sometimes you're not going to have that level of preservation in the wood. Sometimes you're going to have to really guess. It may look like this guy here. It may just be really worn down. Now, one mistake some people do make is they'll see sedimentary rock. Now, this is jasper. It's just banded jasper. It's really cool stuff. And they mistake it for a piece of petrified wood. That guy is pretty. That's just really highly detailed. That's just insanely close banding. This is probably like some section of a root, but it's pretty cool. And then you find sandstone, and there's a little bit of sandstone where it compresses. And compressed sandstone will also fool you and make you think that it's petrified wood, but it is not. It's just compressed sandstone. And the various minerals that are present in the soil will pretty much tell you what your petrified wood, or in this case compressed sandstone, is going to look like. There's chromium and there's some iron, gives it the reddish look, but it's pretty cool. They polish up. It's really pretty when it polishes. This stuff would make an amazing backsplash. I've got a few big hunks of this that I think I'll do that with. Then you get to ones that you really have to look closely at. This guy is petrified wood. It's hard to tell, but you have to, some sides you have to get it wet or even give it a polish before you can even tell and spot the grain to it. But this is petrified wood. It's just a really super bleached out white piece. Might have even started to opalize. That's my guess. But there's no fire in it that I can tell. It's just a cool piece. Anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoyed this little talk about petrified wood.